Using checkboxes is the wrong way to be turning parts of your macro on and off. You should be using buttons. If you've tried to use the basic button before, you may be confused because it doesn't actually give you an output of like a 1 to 0, and you can't expression things with it the same way you can with a multi-button control, but you can run Lua code. Lua scripting is pretty easy, and it's a really good way to get introduced to scripting in Fusion. This shouldn't need to be said, but this tutorial is going to need a small amount of coding knowledge. Thankfully, the operations and functions we're doing today will be fairly simple, and really just you have to recognize a pattern and then replace parts of that pattern. Today we have a macro that's really easy. It just allows you to make a shadow and a glow right on your logo. But what we want to do is be able to toggle them on and off. That's pretty easy to do. So now we can use any of the nodes that are currently in the comp, or we can add our own, which is what I like to do. I'm just going to add a node called alpha divide, and this is the node that's going to be handling all of our controls on it. So we can just go ahead and name this controls. This will allow us to easily tell in the code later on, this is where all the controls are at. So we can go ahead and turn that to pass through. I just did that with a control P. You can also press this tick up here and that will turn it off, essentially. Let's just make sure it's not trying to render anything at all while it's playing through. Let's go ahead and come up here to either the word controls up here in the inspector, or right click on the node itself and come over here to edit controls. We can then add our own control. Let's just call this shadow toggle, or we'll just call it shadow on, and we'll choose button control, integer. Everything is fine for the default. Being on the user page is what we want. We're just going to go ahead and make our default width a 0.5. That's going to make it half of the width of our inspector. So go ahead and do OK on that, and there we go. Just takes up half of the space. We can then add another one, and there's a really easy way to do that. If we go into our controls list here, find shadow on, and just change on in the ID zone to off, and then change the name to off. This will just create another button with the exact same settings, but shadow off instead. And we can do that same thing for glow. So we'll just do that real quick. There we go. Now we have 4 buttons that will turn on and off our features as we need. Now all we have to do is write some script that will allow us to toggle all the options. So what we're going to be doing with this is not just turning the merge blend down to 0, but we're actually going to be disabling all of these nodes selected like that, and then disconnecting these connections. This is by far the most optimized way to do this. Another way that you could possibly add optimization is turning blend down to 0 along with all of these other options. This will ensure that there is absolutely no way this is going to be playing back in the output. So there's no worry about any extra lag being created by these unnecessary nodes. And in fact, what I'm going to be doing is actually replacing the merges with a single multi-merge. So we're just going to take this off real quick and disable all these things. And we're just going to add a multi-merge right here. And then we're going to connect shadow to it and then glow to it. Connect our inputs to our outputs just like we had before. And then take this on to the output. Now we have effectively the exact same effect, but it's all being handled inside this multi-merge. We now only have to really worry about disconnecting this connection and this connection and keeping multi-merge on. In a future video, we will be talking about actually figuring out, is this other node turned on? If it is, then let's not turn off this. But if it isn't turned on, let's go and disable this when we disable this. That may not make a whole lot of sense at this very moment, especially if you're brand new to Lua scripting, but don't worry, we'll be getting into that in a future video. Maybe not the next one, but definitely in the near future. Okay, now that we have that set up how we want it to be, let's go ahead and start writing the script for this. I've just opened up a blank unsaved document in my VS Code. You can obviously do this in any code editor that you want, or even plain text editor that you want. To start, we're going to want some code similar to this. So this is going to take the node and set the attributes specified right here, so the tools pass through, and then set that to false. This is going to be turning on our node. So let's actually go ahead and add a line so that we can document this. And let's just make sure we know this is for turning on. Doing the double dashes there just lets Lua know that that is not actually an executable line of code, and it's just going to ignore it. So let's go ahead and put in shadow 1. And this is going to make sure that shadow 1 is turned on whenever you click shadow 1. Pretty simple. Next up, we have this line of code that it's going to take the node and then connect its input, and then we have to specify which input it is, to this other node. And it's going to automatically connect it to the output. So we have to take a look, and we want to connect the input for shadow 1. So we'll go and type shadow 1 again, and we will hover over the input, which in this case is the yellow input, and we'll look on the bottom left of our screen, and it says shadow1.input. So this one just needs to be called input. but some of them won't be that easy. Then we want to go ahead and take this one and take a look. We want it to be going into merge 1. Now input has to be in quotes just because it is a specific name that it's looking for, but the actual node names are just fine being not quoted. Now we also want to do this for the multi-merge with the shadow, so let's go and do that too. We'll just make a quick duplicate of this line, and instead of shadow, we'll type in multi-merge, and we'll put a 1 at the end because that's multi-merge 1, and we'll just see which connection it is. This one's a little bit more complicated, so this one is actually layer 1 dot foreground. We need that entire name, exactly how it's spelled. So we need layer 1 dot foreground. And that's going to be what our input is called. And we want this to then connect to shadow 1 on the output. That is going to be exactly what we need for on. But now we need to invert everything we just did for the off. And that's pretty easy to do as well. We copy all this code and come down a couple of lines and paste it. We can go ahead and change this out for off. We can then change this out for true, so it is going to pass through. And then instead of setting an actual connection, we just need to put in nil. And that is going to make sure that the connection just goes to nothing. Now that is our entire button code. Makes it super easy. Now if we just copy this, if we come down here, find shadow on in our controls list and execute, we just want to paste this straight into it. And that is actually going to allow us to execute the code. So we want to add that, and then we also want to add shadow off as well. So let me do that. We can see it does disconnect everything, and it does disable it when it's off and re-enable it when it's on. That's perfect. There is an extra step we can take, which is turning blend down to 0. But since there's no connection to that input anymore, there's not really a huge reason to do that right now. But it is always nice to know. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have to have a line of code similar to this. You might notice that this is exactly how you would write out if you're looking for a specific input from another node using expressions. That's because it is taking the exact same idea and putting it into Lua. So if we go ahead and change node to multi-merge 1, and we can just do a tab to complete that, and we want to change this to be exactly the control name that we need. So if we go back into our multi-merge and hover over blend when we're in the shadow layer, we can see this is called layer1.blend, just like how this was called layer1.foreground. This one is still using that layer 1 dot prefix. So let's go ahead and add that into our code just like we did before, and this should work just fine. If we go ahead and copy this and invert this for turning it off, now if we put this back into our button code, we can see that it will do the exact same thing, but in the multi-merge, for one, we can actually see it doesn't actually exist anymore because there's no connection to it, which also helps to optimize it. But if it were there, we'd also see that blend is turned down to 0. We can go and turn that back on, and we can see everything works just fine, with blend being confidently on 1. Now we can go into this for the glow, which is pretty much exactly the same stuff. Obviously, then you just change shadow to say glow, and it works just the same. So we'll go ahead and do that real fast. I'm going to go ahead and do a search for shadow and do a replace, and just fill that in with glow. Since it still is glow 1, we don't need to replace the 1 at the end. So I'll press this one to just replace all, and that will make sure that everything that was shadow before now says glow, but all the other controls are okay staying the same except for the inputs right here. So we needed to change layer 1 to say layer 2 for both of these, and now we should be good to go. If we were to go ahead and copy this and put it in there, everything should work just fine. Now we have a really good working on and off switch for both of our effects. Now the multi-merge is still going to be in there, and it's still going to be turned on, not disabled ever. But we can fix that in a future video talking about making a whole script, essentially, to figure out if one effect is on, then do this. If the other effect is still off, then do this. Pretty easy stuff, but I want to go and do a whole video about that because it will be a little bit more advanced for some of you who actually want to begin to learn a bit of Lua. And in the future, we will be doing a whole Lua series because if you did see my community poll, that actually was the most voted topic to be talked about for Fusion in a future video. So I will definitely be doing a small series about learning Lua scripting. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and leave that comment down below and let me know what exactly you want to automate with Lua scripting, because I would love to hear your comments and I'd love to hear your ideas. If you've mastered this, and you've probably mastered a lot of Fusion, but do you want to hear my thoughts on 3D stuff in Fusion? I make a really cool title that uses the new USD stuff in Resolve Beta 19, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and check that out. Make a cool, brick wall. Go ahead and check that out right here on this video.